Okay. I think they knew that crawl, walk, run, I jumped and I flew. At least that's what these people thought when the drum came through. Cause see, from the very start, the kid knew what to do. And they could tell the kid smart by the way that he moved. Then he started doing shows and started making the news. Making from all the show deal, and I believe he was killed it like a window. Blueprint to this game before he rolled it. I am the cold of the lead, and the beast in the grace. And that's the one thing that comes getting nice to true. The second thing is on the beach, he's always bringing the most. I'm next to the window, or drink from the pursuit. I guess I'm not busy, but they upset me, hate that they do. I'm trying to do that over it, baby, just me and you. She buys it like a cup of lean, that's me for the moon. Then I get her on again, so she can swallow this food. I got some matter with cool. I know they wanna figure life, I hope they know that we do. I'm out there smacking on the streets like the strength we can do. That means I'm trying to get that dough, we getting down with this mood. Oh yeah, I'm in the mood. Don't just spoil the mood, cause I'm feeling good, baby, don't just spoil the mood. Got me in the zone, it's like I left from the masseuse. You can tell me nothing, still the man will never lose. Tell me what it is, oh, tell me what it do, baby, tell me what it do.
Back on my feet, check it, back on the feet. Going through the things, check it, black time your CV. King talk, ini instrumento to your king speech. Systems inafanya tunapatana kwa meetings. Naandaki mabas kama pasta, wajiji kando huya ni msupa kipas time na jistu. Biashara ni kwa simu kama hustler kamiti. Toka ronga, kasa, backlands na isich. Kumeza nyama choma juu ya daska baridi. Misi jali ya tinani njo top scorer kwa ligi. Scientist ndani ya lab flow na discover ni mbichi. Hii kama combination ni basket na Da Vinci. 10 years different nyip na gold na ni sink. Squeezing me na dish mess na moja na things. Unadhani wananiita jina boss na kwa nini. Tuna inspire wakidi yo all over the city. King disease, kila drop mazishi. Kutoka 17 bini ndani trucks na beamings. Mablena wanachoka wanawashwa vile naishi kitufanya misi ndani. Nikukanisha kama mwiki.
The Black Half Fire Radio, and you're listening to.
Yes, karibuni sana family to another beautiful episode of the Pan-African Bliss Show. This is the media of the 21st century, and of course, karibuni to the Black Hot Fire Network radio station. 16 minutes past 1 p.m. That's the time on my end. It's been a minute right here on the episode of the Pan-African Bliss. Not been here since Wednesday and yesterday, but of course, glad to be back to, of course, give you guys updates of what is happening in the African continent, all over, literally, the African continent. And of course, as we talk about the African continent, we shall be focusing our debate today to Sudan and the UN expression of disappointment. This is after the Sudan extension of transition. And of course, I do believe this country was supposed to hold elections. I'm not sure when, but I'll be confirming the details once we get into it. And a country that is actually destabilized, a country that is, distracted, a country that is still undergoing war, bombing, and killings cannot be able to transition in anything. And I do believe even the UN talking about how disappointed they feel they were not willing and are not willing to make a change on the African continent in any way, not just Sudan, but the African continent in any way. But that is what we shall be talking about. We shall also discuss what is happening in Gabon, where Ali Bongo actually is about to quit politics for real. That is completely. And do remember that is Ali Bongo was ousted by the military juntas that is in Gabon, and that was of course 2022 if I'm not wrong. And The wife has also been released. Do you remember the wife also was accused of a couple of things? I think stealing diamonds and all that. But she has also been released. But shall be giving much more details to see what the article talks about. And of course, as we get to continue, shall also discuss what is happening also in Zimbabwe, where we can see people are depending on the baobab tree fruits. That is for them to actually continue living due to the climate change, of course, which is part of the Agenda 2030. Remember, due to the climate change, the Zimbabwe people have been depending on the baobab trees, fruits for lifeline, literally. I'll be sharing a video on that. And of course, we shall also discuss about what is happening in Eastern DRC Congo, where we can see there's an army alliance that has taken over to protect the civilians, of course, despite having the M23 rebels who are threatening the country's security and all that. We shall discuss, of course, other conversation, including Nigeria. So ensure you are right here. And as we come back, we shall start with what is happening in Kenya. There has been a mining site that has been discovered in Tsavo National Park. It's been a few months since we've gotten information of how Kenya is planning, or how the colonizers did mark territories that they could come and exploit. And our national parks is one of them. And apparently, the mining in these national parks has not begun yesterday. This is just information that is coming to our desks, literally, where this mining of that is in the national parks has not started yesterday. It has been active since the 1970s. I'll be sharing a video that is talking about that because there's a video I bumped into which indicates there is an airstrip that actually is one of them is on the national Tsavo National Park. And the question was, what is happening right here? What are they exporting? What are they importing? But definitely this exportation of our resources. But I'll be giving much more details on that. But of course, back to the music. That was B-Mix featuring Danny Talks in Tronics. The name of the jam is Masus, new, dropped yesterday. Check out B-Mix album that is on the Boom Play. Check it out on Spotify, on his YouTube channel. An amazing artist has been here on the Black Out Fire Network radio station. He'll be here next week, of course, as he gets to give us much more of the information of what the EP is all about. It's an EP, not an album, actually. He dropped yesterday, and shout out to, of course, Danny Intronics over there, who's featuring one of our people right here, our team, also right here on the Black Out Fire Network radio station. 20 minutes past 1. Back to the music. This is by the one and only IR Star. And of course, a couple of other artists, and I hope you guys get to enjoy this. 6 Lakh, we're talking about that. The name of the jam is Pina Colada.
Many things they go on inside. Midnight, see vibes. Now within my soul they need now. When they get wild, tonight.
Shout to Alo.
Never late for me time.
Hey.
Inside.
Nimesalimika.
They go on inside. Kala me, I go conquer. You love me, I love you, you not a bender. If nobody bother me, no go answer. I get it, no accident, no drama, no never. Can't catch my antenna. But this sapa, no day out. You go back, you rama, you know. Inside. Many things they go on inside. Midnight, see vibes. Now within my soul they need now. When they get wild tonight, it is never late for me time. Inside. Many things they go on inside. I tell her I love her, she know I mean it. I'm the one to help you pick up the pieces. Speechless, always on point like a thesis. Sound like a fiend, but I need it. Inside. You know for the drama, no fire. From the big sides, on 6 sides. I got you pulling up for the midnight rendezvous. Oh mama, Nirvana. No accidental drama, no never. I promise. I've been looking for a star in this midnight. The picture get clearer. Time going by now, I'm looking in the mirror. The bigger the fear is, the more I really feel it. Me time, look for the spirit. Kala me, I go conquer. You love me, I love you, not a bender. But nobody bother me to go answer. I get it, no accident, no drama. Don't never, can't touch my antenna. But this time, don't never, you over, you never, you know. Inside, many things they go on inside. Midnight, see vibes. Now it's in my soul, they need now. All I can tonight. It is never late for me time. Inside, many things they go on inside.
Yes, and of course, welcome back. That is Pinnacle Ladder IRS Star 6 Lakh. I don't know the other artist. I think the name of that other artist is This Is London. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know if that is the production. I'm not sure. But anyway, I would really, really love me some IRS Star, and I do believe she's one among the artists from Africa who should have won a Grammy Awards. Tyler doesn't deserve it, okay? And we said what we said. As much as she feels, I do agree with the guy who actually said she feels like an entitled, I don't know, UPT, entitled African. That is what they called her. UPT, I don't know, UPT or UPT, entitled African. And immediately she changed her Twitter name to that. And I mean, it's good to take the titles on them, whatever people pin on you, on it. But yo, baby girl, you've not delivered as Ayara as literally. I feel like Ayara delivers every single day. Ayara is literally doing collabos back to back. Ayara's jams, all of them, none are a miss. All of them are a hit. But I love me some Ayara Star. But of course, before we get started with the conversation of the day, my quote of today is "Happy weekend." Weekends are a reminder that even if the busiest, even in the busiest of schedules, there is always time of relaxation, laughter, and making memories. So I hope you guys, if you get time to relax this weekend, kindly ensure you do that. Personally, I love the way I've personalized my weekends. I take my weekends very serious nowadays. I'm no longer a party girl like the way I used to be. I'm more of an inside girl, literally more of an inside girl, always sleeping majority of the times. If Saturday I'm not here, either we're gonna be doing something, shout out to Dimore, or either we're having some activities going on. But majority of the times I'm either sleeping, resting. I'm gonna give my body a rest because I don't wanna come on Mondays exhausted. So I'm gonna give my body a rest as much as it requires. But shout out to Alo, he says gloss kwa lips, where thank you. I appreciate for the compliment. Shout out to Joseph, shout out to Wallace, and everyone who's joining through Twitter, on YouTube, and also on Rumble. On our TV, we are on Amazon TV. Hello, we are on Roku TV. We are to be tuned in on Android TV. But of course, shout out to everyone who's live with us on our TV station. Shout out to everyone who's live with us on our show page, and also on the Spotify, on Spreaker, who get to catch the shows on a podcast form. Karibuni sana once again. So as we get started, like I said, I want to start with what is happening in Kenya. And during this week, I think that was on Monday or Tuesday, I bumped into a video that caught my attention, and of course, I did a little bit of research. I don't have full details, full evidence of so much, but we'll be, of course, typing some articles as we get to move on. So it's been a couple of months, to be specific, where we've been having rumors of how Kenya has been, selling not only its national assets. We remember that happened actually since the beginning of the year. We saw KICC actually was sold Kitambo. KICC is not even ours, never been ours. That's the time I started digging information about how many companies, state-owned companies, do we have and own. KICC actually has no title deed from the last time I reported. That was in 2021. I'm not sure if they found the original owner, but it had no title deed. So it was literally not evident or clear who owns the KICC building in Kenya. But so many national assets, including also our Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. We know that the British family have literally the biggest shares. As much as we can see Adani coming in to trying to play a role of, developing the airport and all that, these are very big caution to us as a people and as a country, because are we really cooperating? Because those are the terms they use. We want to cooperate, we want to help you guys develop, or is it that we are selling away our lands? Because what is happening in Tsavo, again, it's been few months, all this information coming out. We've heard that actually our colonizers were the ones who marked the territories, and named our national parks the way they are named because they knew the amount of work that is underneath that soil over there. There's amount of gold, there's amount of, I don't know about diamonds. I don't know if in Kenya we have diamonds, but I'll not be surprised if we do. Since Africa is blessed as a whole, we are blessed with natural resources as a whole, and our natural resources keep on generating. I'd not be surprised if we had diamonds in the 254. Just saying. But this video right here, which I'm about to share, is proving and indicating how the Tsavo National Park has been exploited, not from the recent or few months that we've been seeing this information being exposed. It has been happening since the 1970s. So these are random video I bumped into, but I want us to listen to it. We pick a couple of information from here, and then we look into articles. We see if we can find any details or information linking us or leading us to the
mining has been going on in Tsavo East from 1970s.
Tsavo National Park has been trending for the last few days. And the reason why it has been trending is because there has been social media conversation around a mining company that is located inside the Tsavo National Park. So people brought aerial photos that were showing some a point that looked like there was a construction inside there. And then when I was walking around the streets of social media, I came across this video that I also want to add to append to this conversation. But first, let me say a few things. KWS has already come out and they have already said there is no mine.
Yep. I remember that very clearly. I remember actually immediately when not just the Tsavo National Park, but a couple of parks were mentioned to being exploited, and then immediately the KWS. I remember reading that here on one of the shows. They released a statement claiming and trying to, of course, cleanse themselves. That's the term I can use, saying that there has not been any exploitation of resources, and they're not looking forward to actually mine any resources in Tsavo National Park. So the question is to all the previous regime, this is not even to Ruto, because it would sound so dumb asking only Ruto's regime, which is currently the ruling party, if I can say that, but Ruto's people or Ruto being the president, I'd sound so dumb kuuliza, mbona, why is this happening? Why didn't we have this information during Uhuru's time? Why didn't Kibaki get to figure this out? Why is it that Moi was not able to figure out that we were being exploited? As for Kenyatta, I'm not gonna ask because Kenyatta was the main sellout of our country. Kenyatta was the main sellout of our country, of our lands. These guys sold 10 acres, 10 million actually, 10 million acres of land that our ancestors today are still fighting, and generations of our ancestors are still fighting till to date to gain them back. So I'm not even going to question the Kenyatta's regime because that was a complete sellout for a glass of wine and a house full of library. That is what Kenyatta did. But starting from Moi, coming to Kibaki, Uhuru Kenyatta, to now where we can see majority of the things getting worse, because that's the reality with Ruto. How comes none of these people have not been able to figure out or take control of these mining resources, mining centers that are illegal? Because that's what they say. You know, after this information, trust me, after if it goes viral viral beyond where it can't be controlled, if it goes viral beyond where they can't control the information, what they are going to do is they are going to expose the information, of course, through their mainstream media, but they're going to lie about it. They're going to be like, nah, this is illegal mining. We have to figure out which billionaire is behind this. Of course, they're going to find out someone to maybe scam or accuse. I don't know what you think, Alo, but let me know. Unafikiriaje? because we're talking about the Tsavo National Park, right? It has been exploited. The information is coming out to our eyes and ears currently right now, because it's been a few months since we started hearing how the British system marked some territory of how they're going to come and exploit our national parks. And this is why we have our national parks named the way they are named, because they knew where the gold is. And apparently underneath these national parks, there's mounds of wealth. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not sure if we have diamond. It could be one of the things, but we do have gold. We do have silver. So my question is, understanding Kenyatta, if you read the Kenyatta history, don't come after me if you've not read the Kenyatta history. If you've read the Kenyatta history, he was a coon. He was a sellout of the country, and that is what he did. For a glass of wine and a house full of library, believe it or not, the article is there. So what happened to Moi, Kibaki, Ruto, Uhuru, and Ruto? You want to tell me none of them have been able to figure out there is an illegal mining going on in Tsavo National Park, where there is even an airstrip that has been actually constructed in this Tsavo National Park? Where are these resources going? It's a question and an answer we do need. So till there, I hope to go sawa.
The Tsavo National Park. But that Kenyans are not convinced. And first, I would like to read to you the letter that the the KWS released. And it was for immediate release. Clarification on false claims on mining in Tsavo National East. So it says, Kenya Wildlife Service wishes to dispel false information circulating. They actually bold false information to tell you that they do not agree that what you're saying is true.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. If this information goes, which already is going viral, we can see the videos being exposed. But if it goes viral beyond like the Adani situation, they're going to come and figure out a way of how they're going to control this situation, because that's what they do. They'll be like, now we didn't know, this is illegal. Like the way they have been labeling the other rest of the mining sites that have been very active in other African countries illegal, but they're the ones still benefiting from this. So this is illegal.
On social media regarding alleged mining activities in the Tsavo East National Park. We wish to clarify that the images being shared online are not from the said Tsavo National Park, and that there are no mining activities taking place there. In fact, the images being shared are from the Galana Kulalo Food Security Project. At some point, I thought that Galana Kulalo project had failed, or did I read wrongly? Because if it was still producing food, really, why have we not been having our food prices going down?
Mm-hmm.
If there is actually a project in Gulana
farming, do we see images looking? I mean, this is literally a very dry land here. Which farming is active on a rock? Serikali napenda kubeba watu wajinga sana. Which farming is actually very active on a rock? Which farming is active right here? All we can see is rocks. So which food production is being dug, or what type of food is being dug from rocks? So that they can stop lying to us. There's nothing. The last time I checked, actually, Kenya is about to be, if we continue with this climate change bullshit, which is one among their agendas, and understanding they're taking control of our food production right now. You're not allowed to plant indigenous seeds. They're about to take control of that. I don't know if they already have, but it is happening. Kenya is one among the countries, I'd say, and I'm predicting this right now, is going to be hit by hunger because of all these deals we're signing. Oh my God, we're about to, most of the people, especially in some areas, are about to be hit by hunger crisis. We're about to lose some people because of hunger in the name of climate change, which is part of the agenda. So this is, yeah, the lady is just correct. I mean, the project was not active. The project has never been successful. They pocket the money. That's what they do. They tell you we're gonna start a project. They draft the whole thing, but they don't execute none of it. Never.
Over there, we should be experiencing some effect of the project being run, ailing that is not there. But I'm just like trying to think critically here. So, located in Galana in Galana Ranch, managed by the Agricultural Development Project Corporation. Agricultural Development Corporation, sorry, which is adjacent to Savo National Park. This project is being spearheaded by the State Department of Irrigation and is aimed at enhancing food security in Kenya through large-scale irrigation and sustainable food practices. Farming practices. As part of the program, canals are being constructed to facilitate water flow into irrigation farms. KWS remains committed to the conservation and protection of our national parks and wildlife heritage. Wow. So, anyway, so it has come out and objected that what Kenyans are saying
is a lie.
It's not true. And they said this on 12th. But that story has not died. It refused to die. Kenyans will not agree with KWS. And they went ahead. I came across this video that I want to attach here. So that I found that video also in X. So I collected the video and I said, okay, let me bring it here so that people can also have a look and see the alleged mining, whether and probably you can leave us your comments in the comment section and tell us what you think or feel about this. But the whole idea and what I understand, assuming that because Kenyans have been having a feeling that the political class and some people somewhere that we cannot see their faces are conspiring to make sure that Kenyans remain poor. Yes, it is the conversation that is going out there. It is very clear and they are saying it loud.
And it's an African agenda, I'd say. Like I was saying, that was, I think, on Tuesday or Monday. It's an agenda. It's a constitution. I don't want to call it a law. I do believe it's a constitution set up to make Africans remain poor. It's not even a law. This is a constitution that was passed to ensure the continent of Africa will never. It's not about the law of this country, the law. No. The constitution of the whole country is you maintain poor, you'll never develop, no water irrigation. This way you can see countries like Nigeria. People are dying because of floods. And so in Kenya, did we see the same? And so will you continue seeing this until we demand for a change? So this is so sad to discover literally Savo National Park has been exploited. They have been mining resources since 1970. This is an information coming to us, the citizens, currently right now. Who is to blame? And someone is to be questioned. Starting from the Moi regime, Moi, Kibaki, Uhuru Kenyatta, to who we have right now is making the country situation much worse. Ruto. This is crazy.
Those mining sites were set up way before the 1970s. That's a lie too. Told you when they created these national parks before they left, what it's supposedly left, they never left. White people never left. They were in the background, but they said they marked those national parks before they left so they could say, oh, you can't come here because they've already mapped the countries all throughout Africa. And so since they say, well, these are now national parks, you're not allowed to come in them. So that's to make sure you wouldn't know where they were stealing all your shit from.
Yeah. Karibu sana kwanza, karibu sana. Shout out to John Mosquito, hello to you too, hope you're doing amazing. Shout out to Sydney Amani, shout out to Elo, anasema hapo the truth, agreeing with the facts. Shout out to everyone who's there on TikTok. Yeah, I agree with you, and of course I remember you telling me that, Keith, and the information that has been coming out from TikTok, TikTokers who have been exposing the agenda and why we had these national parks set up the way they were set up. Yes, I remember you saying this is not something that happened recently, when they left, of course, like you're saying, they never left. They marked the territories, knowing when they come back for neo-colonialism, which you can see it happening, some of the places they're going to, take control of. But this video right here is
They've been
explaining
by. They've been
this.
by.
Yeah, I didn't know that. So this video is explaining. It has the mining of one of the national parks, that is the Savo, not all of this, just one of them. It has been happening since 1970. That is after they marked the territory. They came back in 1970, built a airstrip there, and they started mining. But the
Like I told
government is lying.
exactly.
The
Like I
government
told-
is lying. It's a project of food production that they launched, I don't know which
Of
year.
course,
that
of
is
course, that's
happening there.
of course, it's a lie. Your government's control. There are no governments, so you know it's a lie. It's a lie. Nobody farming in no national park. I don't think it's a lie. Same way in Congo, where you go to Congo, there's airstrips. They ain't built no roads, but there's airstrips all around the Congo where all the fucking mining's going out. So the white man can fly in, steal his shit, and fly back out to Europe.
True.
That's why the airstrip is there. I don't have to deal with you goopy niggas. I fly in, get the shit out stolen, and fly right on out. I have to go to no
You
customs,
know?
none of that shit.
And even the dumbest thing, when you tell people and telling Africans, especially if you tell them Zungu, we're doing farming on a rock, that would make sense because these people even came from rocks, number one. But if you tell an African there's a farming activity going on in a national park on top of a rock, what are we gaining there? Stones? And that's what I'm saying. I was saying just a few minutes ago, Kenya is one of the countries I believe is about to be hit by inflation in terms of hunger very soon. If not very soon, maybe next year or still when Ruto is still under and in power. Because remember we've signed into where they're taking control of course of our indigenous seeds. They want us to produce
I was looking at something. I was looking at something on TikTok show that said, "What's happening with Africa? You open the orange, there's no seeds in it. These GMOs, yes, the things that make sure you have no nutrition. Eat whatever you eat, so everybody's gonna be running around there fat. You're gonna be fat because you get no nutrition. So a bunch of fat motherfuckers like in America now. A bunch of fat motherfuckers running around there because there's no nutrition in GMO because it's fake food. It's not real. It's not from God. It's fake. It's made in the lab. These laboratory goddamn seeds. They're not organic indigenous seeds. They're made in the lab. So there's no nutrition in it. So it's fake food. Same shit. That's why everybody in America is running around fat. I said, damn, why did everybody get fat in America over the last 30 years? We didn't have fat people here. Because of GMOs. They know it now. They can't. Whole
So
country.
let me continue sharing this video here. What this video much
and clear. You are conspiring to make the masses, as the common mwananchis, to remain poor forever. Yes, that is what Kenyans feel. Because if, for sure, because I know some Kenyans somewhere, they will definitely go to that Savo National Park and try to take real images. I don't know how they will do it, because actually it has been said in different forums that there is very seriously armed security men protecting our parks.
Of course.
This is not the time of jokes. This is real. So in this video that I'm going to show you, someone talks about poaching taking place and some people running into the park to collect mines, to collect minerals, to go and mine there illegally, and how they have been poaching. And we see someone going into, you will actually see the video and watch it and listen it to yourself. Let me not explain too much about it. But my point here is very clear. To be honest, if it is true that there is a mine inside the Savo National Park, then we Kenyans need to be very worried, because there is no way a government institution that is funded by the Kenyan taxpayers' money can come out and write such a letter and get away with it.
Exactly.
For sure, somebody confirms 100%.
You're going to find that in a lot of
is
national
going
parks.
on inside that park.
European
That is in the
already
form
got
and
out
shape
what
of mining of minerals.
We're not going to give up Africa to you goofy niggas.
I don't know what we should say, but the reality of the matter is that It is not easy times, but the revelation is here. This is what is called revelation, year of revelation.
I mean,
So let me leave you guys to watch the video and leave us your comments in the comment section below.
okay.
See you in the next one.
We were on Mizani on Monday, and then KWS issued a statement that denied the existence of mining in Savo East or any other game reserve,
Yeah.
because that day we were discussing about it and it had been trending for the past 2 days.
Because
Also
you don't
did a video
control
on it.
none of your government controls it. None of your government ever controlled it, doesn't control it. That was part of the deal. White man said, okay, I'll pretend like I'm going to give you this part of Africa back that I named Kenya. You never named it. Or I named Nigeria. You didn't name it. I named your goofy countries. And I've already told you, in order for you to get your fake freedom, these minings are going to exist and you have nothing to do with it. If you come in, I got my military here to overthrow your ass. You understand that? I got an American base in Kenya and I got a goddamn British base in Kenya. So you'll do what you're told to do, goofy niggas. All your money, your mining goes to me.
I agree with you, but at the end of the day, this is where we can see Kenyans taking accountability into their hands, because when you talk about accountability being held by the fake puppets, it's never going to happen, because, again, that's how the Constitution, I'm going to call it the Constitution, that's how it's been set up, literally. It's not about the law of a country. The whole continent has been set up where different, or some of the majority of the things we have in the country, we don't control. Not even our schools, not even our churches. We are actually controlled in every way, you know. But I do believe by the waking up of the African people or an African person, like what we can see here, where she's saying we need to be worried, we need to be concerned, because there's no way where a leadership or someone who's using my money claiming to just release a statement and I'm supposed to be okay with that. I need accountability. So since we have leaders who are failing to do accountability,
Find the problem.
Africans are doing it themselves. They're going on the ground, taking pictures, recording videos, coming back with articles, every information that we need to expose these coons. And the time is coming. I do believe that. It's not going to take long, kid. As much as it might take maybe 10 years, but I do believe Africa is going to be ready and gathered with all the information. This is just the beginning. Slowly, until you get to, because I believe most of the Africans do not understand the Rothschild, the Rockefellers. We still caught up in that Israel bullshit of, oh, let's fight for Israel. Let's pray for Israel. Not even Palestine themselves, as much as shouldn't be concerned. Most of the people are like, this is where God, Jesus was. Nah, these are the controllers of literally the continent, the whole world, the global everything. Your food, your medication, politics, how you breathe, and nowadays they can even control breathing. If you say anything against them, of course, you're gonna be deleted. That's one of the ways of them controlling your breathing. So I do believe with this slow process, Africans waking up, us gathering information bit by bit, this is enough evidence of making people have rage and go on a war. That will be enough rage of discovering what you did to African people, all the apartheids that have been organized, all the killings, the slavery. And it's going to be even much better if we understand the miseducation we have between the Africans in America and Africans in Africa. Because I think that was last week where Demore, or this week, Demore was trying to discuss about the culture and everything. But apart from culture, do we understand why things have been set up like that? Why we see each other different, why we see Black Americans the way we view them, the way Black Americans view Africans. Once we have that and we are a collective globe, it's going to be undefeatable. It's gonna be a war won, and we're gonna have all the weapons funded either by Russia, of course, watching our backs, like Burkina Faso. We're gonna have all the drones and check all these farming activities going on in these national parks. Why isn't there food? Why are some people still dying in the northern parts of Kenya if there's literally food production happening? Capping liars.
Thank God yesterday we got confirmation that mining has been going on in Savo East from 1970s. Watch this video and give me your opinion.
In the park, there's no more food for the elephants, so the elephants have to come out and look for food here. This place is kind of moving, it's a route for the elephants. So every night they would come and attack, look for food, look for flour, water. People had to sleep out, and eventually we had to close the camp, but it was destroyed.
And this is why I say, this is why I
Inside
do believe this is why we have actually animals right now, wild animals. The number of wild animals we're seeing out and attacking people, it has increased. Way back, it was not a norm thing to see just hyenas walking on the streets, lions walking on the streets. You're in the Rongai streets, you hear there's a vampire somewhere, you need to be scared of your life. These kind of things were not really, you know. Actually, if you heard of a wild animal, it used to be something very concerning, like that is an emergency state. Like, yo, are people's lives okay? Where is it gonna go? Who has been attacked? How can we hold control of this animal without hurting it? Okay, but everything is just fucked up in Africa, I guess. Majority of the thing, everything is just everything. Majority, not everything, but majority of the things are just really fucked up. They are the ones distracting the lives of animals right now, and this is why they're coming back to residential areas. Because here in Rongai, it's just, I think, not 10, but if you're using, let's say, a matatu or a Uber, Uber, I'd say 15 minutes, you are on the national park where we went and showed you guys a few things, and why we couldn't go because we were told you need to pay some certain amount of money. But the forest is super, super big. Like, if you look at Rongai from a certain angle, this place is super big, like super, super huge. And if you try to look at where you can see the forest, it's way too far to have animals coming to residential areas. But it's us actually demanding accountability, or we take it.
In the park, there's no more food for the elephants, so the elephants have to come out and look for food here. This place is kind of moving, it's a route for the elephants. So every night they would come and attack, look for food, look for flour, water. People had to sleep out, and eventually we had to close the camp, but it was destroyed. That's the problem here. We're right next to the national park.
Here for the past nearly 50 years, since the 1970s. So 40, 50 years you are mining inside the national park.
We are rurals. Now the people we call rurals are these artisan mines. They are intruders, they steal our sons, but because of the KWS people, they feel that it is not secure for them to enter into the national park.
So actually, the fact that you have a legal mine inside the national park is helping the national park for anti-poaching, for logistics, something like that, because sometimes you have rangers coming to the mine, maybe to sleep or...
The people from KWS, when they get that we have any intruders, they are able to relay with the other camps.
Why is there Indian right there? Why are the Indians speaking for Africans? Why is this Indian man in charge of any fucking thing in Africa?
Because he's set up there. He's the one explaining. He's the one explaining how things operate there.
Exactly. But you'll never find an African in India explaining shit how India works.
Uh-oh. How dare you? How dare you speak on behalf? Oh my God! That was on I think last weekend, but one. When we were with Demore coming from the farm, right? There's this, I don't know if Demore noticed the situation, but I noticed, and I was like, man, I'm glad it's not me. So there was this Indian guy think he's half Indian, half Kikuyu or whatever. But he was like, I think he had an issue with the conductor, and then he started talking crazy to the conductor. And I think the conductor knows them. He started keeping him on check. Yo, you're gonna go back to India. You're not gonna bring your bullshit to me.
It's about time you start doing that. That's right.
You're not gonna bring your bullshit to me. You're gonna either you alight, the matatu, or you pay me. I say the matatu is this amount of money. Why do you want us to have a back and forth argument?
Exactly.
Give me my money, or you go back to India or alight my matatu. Simple as. And I was like, God, I'm glad to see this. My blood was boiling.
Yeah.
Oh
because they come. Everybody comes to Africa.
My blood was boiling with excitement. I'm not gonna lie. I looked at Demore, man. I'm like, Demore, did you see that? Did you see that? I'm glad it's not me. I'm just glad it's not me. Oh my God. I would have added all the words I know there because I'm always waiting for that time. Oh my God. You dirty Indians, you cook with rats on your sufurias. What can you tell me? I mean, I'd abuse the shit out of you. Oh my God. But I'm glad to see Africans keeping them on check because majority of the time, especially a conductor, right? You're going to be humbling yourself because especially a foreigner. Oh, I need to be respectful. Nah, it was like, bruh, give me my money. I'm not Indian. You'll go back to India, okay? Don't mess with me. Don't mess with me even a little bit.
Well, there's awakening.
Mm-hmm.
In a group and help us.
So you're collaborating with them. So you are supporting conservation, but at the same time they provide you protection because you don't get too much attacked by illegal miners.
That is true. And also sometimes when we have a problem with our water tanks, we get assistance from them also when they are getting water from their main camps. We also get water when we have a problem with our vehicles. They are able to help us.
Okay. So for you, it's kind of a benefit to work inside the national park.
It is a kind of a benefit. First for
Who works for the national park, for the
security, and even removing these people from outside, these intruders.
Today we are visiting the gem license from a local gem miner called David Visram. So he's working not very far from the Tsavo National Park. You can see the Kasigar Mountain just behind us. This area in Tsavo is very famous not only for Tsavorite, but also you have rubies and tourmaline. These are the three main products in this area.
Yep. So you can see there. I don't know what's that. Looks like. I don't know.
Wow, my people. KWS refused categorically that there was no mining in Tsavo East. Now this video confirms that mining has been going on in Tsavo East from 1970s. How many other parks are these people mining without our knowledge?
Exactly. So many. A question that's very well asked. How many mines? Because so far we have just the Tsavo National Park, which is openly exposed, and which, of course, you can see them still denying, despite the evidence. They're like, nah, all we're doing here is food production on rocks. You're planting maize on rocks or producing beans on rocks. What is it that you're doing? We have people in the northern parts of Kenya and other parts of Kenya where people are dying of hunger. This is crazy. But if you go demonstrate such kind of a thing, of course, in a democratic country, you're going to be live bulleted. You're going to be tear gassed. That was on Wednesday. We had demonstration at the Morris School. And one of the students was hurt so bad. They blew a tear gas on this guy live. A student. And this is when you're fighting for your rights, demanding for justice. But I do hope we're going to get to that point where the system is going to change and Africans just taking control of everything like we once did. I live for that era. I live for that moment to see everything I spoke about, the younger me. I want to see literally the old me looking at the younger me, proud of how I passed this information boldly and waiting for the revolution of Africa, literally. It would make me so happy. I live for that era. I pray to Jesus to keep me alive for such long, because I have to witness that era. I really have to. I got to. It would be so amazing to see us thrive again, winning again, standing again, fighting again, not taking and tolerating bullshit from anyone, because I've learned something lately. I've come to understand what confidence also how confidence can make other people feel intimidated, or I don't know, some certain type of way. I've been noticing literally some Africans, and that's why we need to all of us wake up. Some Africans would look at you majority of the times as me being a woman. I'm gonna be judged because of my dressing code. As a woman, or our era, we were saying this even on Monday, our era, and if you look at our mother's era, our mothers literally grew up dressing all church-wise. You needed to cover everything of yours. Even if it's so hot, you need to look like a Muslim. And that's the type of shit I was trying to grow with at home, or you need to cover your neck, but it's hot. No, you need to wear a pull neck even if it's hot. Wear a long sleeve and all that. But understanding the kind of era we are in, the Gen Zs, literally, people are dressing comfortably. I'd say, I don't want to use the wrong term. I want to say comfortable. I'm comfortable with my dress, whether short or long. I'm comfortable. I'm not living according to the societal expectations. Personally, I think Keith knows, maybe majority of it, but me, I like short dresses personally. So I've come to figure out, and I do that. I'll attack people, anyone who's gonna try attack my confidence, and apparently my confidence overpowers them, and they end up shrinking. They'll end up literally shrinking. So I'm like, I wish we can all learn to build up our confidence literally in any way, not just in talking, but also dressing up. Because Africans, we've grown up without that, always questioning ourselves, doubting yourself. Everything you do, you're doing it in the name of Christ, in the name of Jesus. Am I okay? Am I gonna be judged? Am I doing sins and all that? We are religiously based, or have a religious based mindset. And until you change that, because for me, that's one of the things that made me literally different in our home, because people are wearing long dresses. I'm being forced to wear long dresses because I like short dresses, and because I've grown up with that comfortably, now I can boldly tell anyone, hey, do you have a mother? Can you act like you came from a woman? And that will keep a man shut, because you're like, oh, I came from a woman. Oh yeah. And right now I'm so ready. Anyone who's gonna come attack me, I have pepper spray ready. Just about I'm about to buy a taser, because men outside there have not met women who are crazy. We're only crazy until you talk, but it seems like talking is not enough. So you need to pepper spray someone who's gonna come and touch you crazy.
Who's coming acting crazy? I know you shouldn't be acting crazy to me.
Personally, it happens every single day. Like, you've seen my dress, the dress, like the dress I'd worn that was on Wednesday, the dress I got from a friend of Sheila, right? That dress was looking sexy as F. Like, someone just out of nowhere, people will never lack anything to talk. Even yesterday, the way I dressed, literally, the Ankara top and the skirt, someone called me a man. I'm like, nigga, did you come from a woman? Because I have a short hair. Like, did you come from a woman? Can you act like you came from a woman? Were you born or were you spit? That was the question I asked them. And they laughed. Literally, all the friends were laughing at him. because you're attacking someone who's so confident, which you don't have. Learn to guard, build your confidence before you attack someone.
I don't know what dress you're at. I see you with sweats and a long shirt on. I didn't see no dress.
Yeah. Yeah, but I've gotten that. I'm just saying in general, Africans need to do that, because what I saw from that Makanga, that conductor guy was confident. You know, he didn't shrink.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's what John Henry Clark. That's what everybody. The colonialization made Africans lose their confidence. You've been indoctrinated to be weak and docile. So it's a lack of confidence. Same thing PLO Lumumba running around talking about. You don't have any confidence. You lack confidence with everybody. So that's why you put your head down and treat everybody better than you. Hey, okay. All that old goopy nigga shit you do.
Me, I'm gonna check on you. Trust me. Me, I don't even when a woman stares at me for so long, I'm gonna ask. I don't care if I'm looking good. What are you looking at? Because what are you looking at? And especially if you're looking at me in a way where you're so judgmental with your Christian mindset and your goofy ass clothes, bro, go back to church. Stop judging me and just go pray. Let me, the sinner, continue walking in sins, because I love it. You know. You continue, cleansing yourself and whatever you want. But Africans need to build their confidence, because I've learned that a couple of times. Like lately, if I attack someone back, they are left very quiet. I'm like, oh, so you have to keep quiet. I thought you could talk. I thought you had the voice. Why don't you talk? You know? So yeah, our men need to toughen up. That is just in general. Our men. Our men need to toughen up, because but as we continue with the conversation, apart from what is happening in the Tsavo National Park, we hope that with the majority of the Kenyans who are digging this information and evidences, we're gonna be able to expose and take control of our resources, because we can see us fighting for even our main airport itself. It's just it's a beginning of showing how concerned people are and know what time it is. It is a neo-colonial time. These people are coming, taking again back control, and they're not just taking. They are, what's the word? They are demanding. No, they're not saying please the way they keep on lying to us about the summits or we are cooperating now. They are squeezing the balls of these puppets so bad. And this is why they can't even say no. Because if you're given a glass of wine and a book, a house full of libraries, and you never had anything from the beginning, and you give away 10 million acres of land, you're a criminal, number one, because you not only betrayed your people, but you are also you are a coon, a big ass coon. And pardon my French. Not only are you a sellout of your own people, but a very big ass coon. It's crazy. But as we continue to our failed puppets and those who are very active, we had Ali Bongo, the Gabon president. Remember him? Of course, him being ousted by the junta. He has said he's going to be quitting politics, and he is also calling for the wife's release. I think the wife was the one who was still in diamonds, right, Keith, if I'm not wrong?
Yes, he was still in diamonds, just like the white woman up in Guyana. He married that other one. They're all French agents. Only Negroes don't marry their women. Only puppet. You don't see nobody. China control the country. Got some black wife. Right? Europe got a black wife. So only these goopy Negroes grow up loving white people. Yeah, white wives who look really nothing more than spies of Europeans, the ones stealing and shit. Shit's crazy.
Mm-hmm. So they're saying that Gabon's deposed President Ali Bongo has announced he will quit politics a year after he was stopped from the power by
I know from politics. I thought they locked his ass up. They didn't lock him up. Because nobody didn't lock him up because his cousin is the one who overthrew him for the French. His cousin who was for the French. The French overthrew his ass. His own people he was a puppet for overthrew him with his own cousin. Okay? So it wasn't no real coup. It's fake.
Mm-hmm.
Fake coup. Because they were mad. They were about the China. You got a Chinese cat in there who actually probably really won. Mm-hmm. Because the Chinese said, we're going to take over Africa because these niggas are goopy. So they impregnated them and won them 25 years ago there. And Now he was running for president. Most likely that Chinese half Negro won. And the French like, nah, we're not giving no fucking gabon to no Chinese. Crazy as hell. That's where we rob and steal. We don't got time to get no Africa up to these goofy niggas, so we're gonna overthrow his ass. so they overthrew him and put their new puppet in, who's nothing more than his cousin.
Nepotism continues. But yeah, he says, I wish to reaffirm my withdrawal from political life and the definitive renunciation of any national ambition. The 65-year-old called for the release of his wife and son, who are in detention awaiting trial on corruption allegations.
Exactly right, Jim. Yeah, but what white president has a black wife? Absolutely none.
None, literally.
Because their people wouldn't stand for that shit. Only African people like, got a white wife. Well, that's okay. We love white people. It's close to Jesus. Clapping and shit. It's like the only people that do fuck nigga shit. It's like,
yes,
what?
It's understanding power, because white people mastered power. They know power. You know, if I'm your enemy, if I consider you an enemy, because white people do consider us enemies as you think they're friends. You know? So I'm not gonna marry my enemy. I'm not going to bed with my enemy. Just that simple, okay? I don't even dare or have I don't even have to have a chat. And it makes a whole lot of sense why these people will go to these summits and not even paid attention to, because all you have to do is take the papers, read them, of course, to your people, to make them understand you're here for a reason, but the message is clear, right? Like, there's nothing you don't understand. We don't need to be here. You know, the message is clear, so you go deliver. Literally. That's how it feels like with these African puppets. Like, you already know why you're there. Nobody has to listen to you. Read the papers, understand, go deliver. Simple and clear. You came into power understanding what your work is. We forgave you a couple of bunch of rapings and killings. So, hey, we are the power. We control the narrative in every way. You know? So either you agree or we lie on your kunas right now that you are found on some shit, and you're not going to be able to walk out of that. Yes. Basically, that's what they do. But they're saying it is not clear whether his statement follows any negotiation with the military rulers, or if he's hoping by agreeing to quit politics, he will secure his family's freedom. Mr. Bongo suffered a stroke in 2018, and his health was a major source of concern for many in the build-up of 2023 presidential election. The army seized power last August, shortly after Mr. Bongo was declared the winner of elections in the which was disputed, of course, by the opposition leaders. Like any African country, or like any country, oppositions will always oppose what is going on politically. But we're gonna see, of course, with the updates we're gonna be getting from the mainstream media, if fully like you've heard, he's not had the discussion. It's not clear if the discussion is between him and the cousin, or if he's doing this just willingly. And I do believe they should go, the wife, the son, and even he himself. I do believe he has charges of corruption and so many things. They should face trial, all of them. You're not just gonna from a political.
So there's no accountability. Africa doesn't work. There's no accountability. You do what you want. You steal, rob, kill motherfuckers. What Ali Bongo's been doing. Maybe he got the country from his father. These fake democracies, like Uhuru, all these fake democracies, and no one ever is accountable. This man is a thief, a murderer, and he's talking about I decided to quit politics. He ain't in jail. Mm-hmm. You know why? Because his cousin's now the president.
Exactly. You know, and of course, nepotism being active, people are always gonna favor each other. And this is why you can never, ever, ever, never include family in business. I don't care what you say. Whether it is if it's successful, lucky you, okay? Not every family member gets to do the jobs their jobs are expected. They're always gonna
I think she knows that. She just said how the goofy Africans still believe in Jesus. He comes by. She knows. I think she knows by now that Jesus doesn't exist. It's a fairy tale. But the other Africans don't. There's no such thing as sin. You're walking in sin, and the funny thing about it, African our dresses attire was short because we live on Africa as a hot continent. That was the regular dress. Only these other people who came to Africa with their culture made Africans feel ashamed of who they were. Now they got weird low dress. The Africans didn't even, most African women didn't even have anything over their chest. Their breasts would just hang out because we know you're not doing. I'm just talking about the history of Africa, but when nobody running around raping the women, they had their breasts out. When nobody like, oh, look at the breasts, let's rape them. That wasn't Africa.
These are just South Africans. That's what the same thing we were saying yesterday on the Black Kings. Right now, men will look at you, they undress you, and immediately you're gonna be raped, and they're gonna say like, "Hey, your dressing code was the reason why you made me horny."
Because you got.
Christine is shocked. You've never had women being told your dressing code was the reason why you were. Yeah, that's Christine.
She never heard that.
She has. She said she has. Yeah.
That's your European. That's what the Europeans brought you. You're talking about a savage. That's European culture. So now we've been in debt and that's what I'm looking for. Not indoctrinated, but inundated. Been inundated with European culture. So now the men behave like European men who rape and rob and I can't control myself because you. Listen, African women used to dress, always wore short skirts. That was the norm. Why you see them dancing down in Zulu territory with no tops on and short skirts. That was the norm. And that was all throughout Africa. That wasn't just fucking South Africa. That was Africa. You're the same people. Was no borders. That was the tire. But when other people came into Africa, they said, how dare you? What are you doing? So you took over their fake ass Christianity, fake ass Islam. Now you got women dressing up like fucking mummies. Because remember, these motherfuckers hate they women. You walking around dressed and all that old shit on y'all. You hot as fuck in that shit. You imagine you in Africa wearing all that hot ass shit all over you. You dressed up like a fucking mummy because you're supposed to be, because you're not going to turn on the fan.
Because in Afghanistan, where we read last week that they were telling their women to cover up so that they cannot look at men. Yeah, that's another level of it. Sounds like hate. You hate your women.
That's why your goopy Bible tell you that the woman was bad, made up. The woman destroyed civilization with Eve. So if Eve hurt Adam, doesn't mean Adam was stupid for him to eat this apple. All she said was, here, taste it. He could have said, nah, bitch, I'm not eating that. You got me fucked up. God told me no. Like, what? So remember, Eve is the woman's the first sin, all this old retarded ass, made up ass shit. Shit's all made up and goopy. Mm-hmm. Growing up around white men, I can attest that the first thing they think they're looking at a woman is exactly, is she fuckable? Exactly. That's their whole culture. And women were never in danger of us being raped in African society. That's the way they dress. Go back and look at go back to any, we want to call them a tribe before they were tribes. Go back and look at any ancient African attire. Look at the way they dressed. It's always short. That was the culture.
Yeah, walk confidently. I think confidence will kill people's, even their confidence. Oh my God.
Most Africans are not confident, Joe.
Like what I have today, oh my God, I was looking at people looking at me. I'm like, yeah, I know. Keep on looking. I got it. I know. It's short, but I love it. What's up?
Oh, your hair.
No, my dress.
Oh, okay. I don't know,
even my hair. Because I told you there's a guy who called me a guy because I have a short hair. I'm like, did you come from a woman? And he kept quiet. I'm like, yeah, because remember that if you came from a woman, just shut up. Because I'm carrying what your mama has. Just the difference is that not given birth.
I don't know. Shut up. I didn't know you had a short skirt on. All I see is your top. Calm down. You said short hair. What the short hair you're talking about again? I don't know. Shit.
Yeah, but as we get to move on to the next one is about Zimbabwe. There's a time we're talking about how Kenya.
Yeah, hold on. Has Shimani cake come yet?
It's coming. It's on the way.
Well, I'm at to punch that lady in the mouth. She late with that cake.
Nah, she's on time. She's on her way.
Somebody trying to defend everybody. So Zimbabwe.
I will defend Natalie. She's
And
been our
I'm
baker.
so you mean tell me? So that's how you know. You mean tell me they got bao trees in Zimbabwe and Kenya? You mean in the same trees? You don't know you're the same people? My God.
So apparently, the people of Zimbabwe have been relying on the baobab trees fruits to actually make to eat. They don't. The Zimbabwe is one of the country I think was reported to be.
That's what I asked all these trees out there. Why don't anybody? I think I told every time. Why? Because you know I already know why. Because the European control. The Europeans are savage. Why haven't you grown any female trees? See, female trees are the ones that grow fruit. See, females can't be the evil ones because females bring forth life. So that's what so anything is growing fruit, it's female. So why haven't they grown? See, if you want to give it a hunger, since you grown all these male trees in the city, why haven't you grown like female trees?
Joe was going to say that they said women are Judas. Sorry for that. I had to read that. Wow.
Yeah, they believe that women are the first thing of evil, and they hate. Remember, because when they first got into Africa, they seen how the African man put the black woman on a pedestal, and the white man couldn't understand. He couldn't understand that because at that time he was still fucking the kids. The white man was still fucking children, and so he could understand the love between them. The white man didn't understand the love between a man and a woman. They were fucking boys. So he said, you know, so they come into Africa. What do you mean you having sex with this woman? What do you mean? The African's like, God damn, these crackers are fucking stupid. He said, no, what you don't ask the African, you willingly sleeping with women? You willingly doing that?
What do you mean you willingly? What do you mean?
They said that you enjoy sleeping with women instead of like fucking boys, fucking children.
Oh wow, damn.
That's what. Yeah. Let me find that. Yeah, they say you willingly want to be with women. You willingly putting women on pedestals. What's this about? That's what the white man asked the African. What's this about? Well, it's about love for the woman, the creator of the universe, and what? But you willingly, you choose a woman over a small boy to put your dick in? Why? Why do you choose a woman?
Crazy, man. Why people are crazy? I don't want to be messed up. It's a good Friday, you know. My mind. You guys can mess up with my mindset when I'm going to sleep. Let it be at night. And right now. No way. Kindly allow me have a smooth day. Yo, so as you continue, what you willingly? This is the first time I'm ever hearing such kind of thing. They questioned Africans. You willingly. So you willingly fucking children? That's what I'd ask. You willingly just want to fuck children? Don't you think that's bad? Of course they can't even think. They have animal genetics. That they're gonna behave like animals. You know, when an animal sees you, you're not friendly, and even if you're friendly, it can bite you. Try a dog. You might feed a dog today, tomorrow it will bite you. Try a cat. Today it's meowing at you, looking all cute. Tomorrow it's gonna scratch the shit out of you. So I feel like white people having the animal genetics, that's how they behave. Act all sweet, give you the sweets, but they're gonna still, you know, stretch their whatever's on you. Crazy. But listen to this.
Since childhood, Loveness Bitoni has picked baobab fruits from the gigantic trees surrounding her homestead in Zimbabwe to add variety to the family's staple corn and millet diet. She never saw the iconic trees as a source of cash until now. We didn't harvest any crop this year. We're only able to survive because of the money from baobab fruits. We're only able to buy corn and salt. Cooking oil is a luxury because the money is simply not enough. Sometimes I spend a month without buying a bar soap. I can't even talk about school fees or children's clothes. Residents like Bitone receive little for their work collecting baobab fruits. They say they cannot dream of affording commercial products. The fruit becomes. When the buyers come to take our products, they have their own gazetted prices. But what I think they should do is to meet and consult us as local leadership, and we agree on pricing. People have no choice because they have nothing.
So even the people themselves are not even benefiting from the fruits being sold either outside or even local markets, because understanding how our system is set up, even the local markets are barely even supported. This is why we see us relying on other aids, other organizations which are funding us genetically modified food, so that we can keep on feeding ourselves. In a country rich in platinum, coal, iron, and gold, people are surviving on baobab fruit. That is Zimbabwe. It's not only rich in soil and raw materials, it's rich in coal, platinum, iron, and gold. But the question is, of course, where is the money going? How is this benefiting the country? The exploitation, the importation, the taxes. What is the money doing? It's a video I saw on TikTok, which was this lady was complaining about how the US keeps funding Israel funds, whatever, and all that. And she was so mad because those are the taxes and there's no development. I don't know which country. I think it was not the US, but I think an African country. This lady was complaining, I don't know about, can't remember which country specifically. But she was so mad. Like, our taxes. Why can't you see development over the years? It's been since I was a child, I've been seeing my parents paying taxes. My sisters. Now I'm grown, I'm paying taxes. And there's nothing these people have done with our money. We're more in debt. More than we've ever been. Yet we have resources. Who's benefiting? But we know who. I just can't wait to see Africa. Actually, I can't wait to see Africa liberated. I can't wait to see Africa revolution. I can't wait to see Africa having good leaders. I can't wait us to have positive talks of like Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali. Because it is sad when you talk about African problems, each African country, the problems all goes back to bad leadership. All of it, every shit just goes back to bad leadership. Lack of accountability, stealing of money, exploitation of resources of which no one has ever stopped. I can't wait Africa having more loans, more debt. Like, it is so crazy, man. It is super insane. But as we get closer to winding up, it's about Nigeria. Nigeria has been facing, of course, and being hit by floods, again, bad leadership. Look at the white men in your screens, always reporting what is going on, ready to appear when Africa is facing calamities. But what help have we gotten from these people? Nothing. Nigeria is one of the countries that saddens my heart as much as we make a joke out of it. This is the most rich country in oil, but yet this is the biggest population of how it looks like. This is how majority of the country's population looks like, to be specific. This majority of the residential areas, and actually even quite a norm in some areas in Nigeria where people live and swim in waters. And it's a norm. So you can imagine now, can you try imagine maybe a place like that residential place where the Nigerians are so used to swimming on that shitty water. Now when it rains, can you imagine how worse it gets? The water levels, do they get in the houses?
Of course, all that shit. Look at that. Yeah, that shit getting out of the houses. Houses are damaged. Houses are trash. What you
So
got?
most of the people in Nigeria, they have to sleep standing either, or they have to sleep on boats, because if the house is flooded, of course, you guys are gonna either rely on the boats,
You sleep on
or
the
you're
top
gonna
of
sleep
you had to
standing.
sleep on the top of these roofs or something.
Like Kenyans, literally. That's how majority of the Kenyans were surviving during the floods. They slept on roofs. We have funds set aside for emergencies like this, and this is what I loved Libya's action. Libya, immediately when there was a dam that actually exploded, I don't know, the dam, whatever happened, and it led to the floods that displaced so many number of people and deaths. Immediately, there was an execution of those who are supposed to ensure everything runs correctly, use the funds how it's supposed to be used. They were all executed. In Nigeria, you ask yourself, who's going to be executed? Who's going to be held accountable? It's not the first time you see floods in Nigeria. It's not the second time. It's been years of us facing the same situation. It's been years, because every year, you know, this season, this month, it rains for this long. These areas are affected this way. So why haven't you come up with a structure of how you can solve the problem of this, you know, bring up a solution of this problem? It's sad when we're in school, and it's sad to see that children in school, they cheer all these presidential, not even the presidents, but all these ministers and Ps when they come to schools to give us a motivational speech. Like, oh, you know, I was once a chicken seller, now I'm a president. You too, you can work hard and study hard and become a president. And then there's an African goofy parent who also runs away with the same narrative that the president is saying. So they're going to give birth to many children, even if it's 10, hoping that one of them becomes a president. Sadly, that's where we've gotten today in Africa. Majority of the people are not even having siring children because they want to, as much as, and not understanding the benefit of also siring many children, because it's good. I'm not saying it's bad. Understanding the population growth, how important it is, as much as they're trying to say and take control of it. We need the population to grow as much as possible. We need it bigger. We need it larger. Because the amount of patients we have in hospitals because of cancer, which is them, they have caused, HIV, which is them, tuberculosis, which is them, they need to be replaced with healthy, beneficial children who are going to be born and educated. Don't do this, this, and this, and this, and this. And that way you can't tamper with the population. You can't tell a population that has been able to deal with diseases naturally or any way that this is dangerous. So it is so sad to see that today most of the Africans, again, like I was saying, they're not giving birth because you're growing a family. It's a hope. I feel like that's the same shit my dad did. My dad I don't know, we are 9 children or 10. I'm not sure. I can't even keep the numbers up. But the mentality I used to hear them having, because for me, I was the ousted child, right? I was told I'd never help them. And of course, which I'll never. You said it with your mouth, so why should I? You know? I'd never be a helpful child. I can never help siblings. I can never do this. So they had to say more children to see who's gonna become there.
But it's not the job. It's not the job to help your siblings, but you are helping one of your siblings. So what are they talking about? That's their job. You had them. Ask me this question. Why do African parents believe it's not their job to take care of their children, Joby? Explain this to me. Help me understand this.
I don't know, kid. I really don't understand the mentality myself too. I really don't. Because if I did, I don't understand the mentality, being honest. I really don't. From a younger age, the moment I was being, because this started, for me, it started when I was in high school. I was told after you're done with school, you know, you got to help your siblings do this, right? For me, I was always just laughing or just minding my business. I never answered to any of the questions I used to be asked. Because number one, you don't do the bare minimum to help me. So why should I help others?
That don't make any sense.
Yeah.
You know? It's my responsibility to take care of your children. It's my responsibility to take care of your children, not yours.
I remember, like
not
I
yours,
said,
but mine.
when they used to go shopping, I used to be the one who's gonna pay back the amount of money that they've spent for my shopping. So I'm gonna save my pocket money, my lunch, which is $50 every day. Let's say they bought
I mean,
chocolate
wait. Payback for what? I'm talking about shopping. What, for food or what? What do you mean?
clothes, shoes.
Imagine how traumatic and fucked up this house is. Imagine this crazy ass fucking, and that's because the Africans been putting part, and your parents are fucked up in the head. That's their job. Exactly. Our children need to learn. The whole idea that you're having your child pay back for the shit you're doing for them, that's your job. God damn it. You're their parent. They're not yours. This is completely fucking absurd.
So yesterday I saw shock on Kamlesh's face and some sort of pain and how do I say?
For what?
Pity. When I said, because for me I've faced. We're talking about period shaming and how men need to learn and be educated about not shaming women because of having their periods. How you need to help a sister if in case they have messed their clothes, help them with maybe your jacket, ask them for their number, they're gonna return the jacket. That's just that simple. Like help a sister. Don't be, because we've grown up with being laughed at. And I was giving a story of I was trying to share the story of
Exactly right.
Money and I were sharing the experiences we've had because of period shaming. Huh?
Who was saying you? What happened? Who was sharing what now?
I'm saying Shmani and I were sharing the story of period shaming. She spoke about where she had a man who never wanted close to her because she had periods. And for me, I said,
now I want you to listen to what Joby said. And Joby gets mad. That's why I told you. African man is a child in the head. You're talking about a child. This is what she's telling you. This is This is the crazy shit of that. These are children. And that's what I told you. When white supremacy takes over a country, then raises black men for 100-some years, they infantilize them. They make them children. The most normal thing of life now, you don't be near me. You got what? You talking about you child? You fucked up in the head. You're a child.
So
that's the normal thing of life. Go ahead.
That was Shmani. Then for me it was because I have painful cramps even till to date. My cramps are really bad, especially the first day. They're never like really an easy day for me. So I remember when I was in primary, because my period started a little bit earlier when I was 12. I used to skip school every month, like maybe 2 days a month, or maybe thrice. Depends, because at the beginning my periods are going for 2 weeks. So maybe
now you imagine a child, they can't go to their father because their father's a child in the fucking head. They can't go to their father because their father's a fucking child in the head.
Yeah, so
go ahead.
What happened is because of missing school so much, my stepmom and my dad actually combined themselves and started thinking I'm missing school because of, on purpose, or because I'm taking advantage of and pretending to be on pain. That's one of the things that really hurt me, because they thought I was pretending I was in pain, understanding the kind of pain I was in, because mine are bad. I puke, I sweat, like I'm sick, literally.
Yeah, that's a lot of pretending.
Yeah. So what they did, they went to school. I think it's my dad or my stepmom. They called the head teacher and told them, in case I miss school ever again during the month, I need to be punished or beaten because I'm just staying at home because I'm pretending. So at that time, one of the shame, apart from that, because they thought I was pretending, the other period shame I went through was when I went to ask him for money for sanitary, and he told me that's the most disgusting thing. I shouldn't tell him ever again. And then
now imagine this. You imagine how childly and fucked up you are in the head when your daughter comes to you, says she's now on a period, she needs sanitary napkins. I can't imagine telling my daughters some fuck nigga shit like that. My babies, my daughters. I can't even imagine telling them. That's white man culture. Exactly. It's white man culture. I say it's white man culture.
So that forced me to using my clothes. I was using my clothes, my t-shirts, my dresses, the ones that I was not wearing as a sanitary towel for me.
And that's exactly right, Jibba Jabba. That's their culture. They brought the African men. Exactly. They were always ashamed. They called the woman dirty when she's on a picture. Just like them goopy Muslims. They were called, this was never African. The African always do this the way, this is nature. It's normal. That's a woman's egg releasing because it's not fertile. It's nothing to be ashamed of. It's nothing to be, oh my God. What? It's nature, moron. And if you got a daughter that's 12 and 13 that's scared, she doesn't know what the fuck is going on. That's a child. As an adult, you sit a child down and you explain, baby, there's nothing to be scared of. This is normal.
Yeah, Shuk, I'm glad when my period started, I was still living with my mom, right? But it was still at the first episodes, like I'm not used to the pain. She had not figured out a painkiller that could work for me, so she was also trying to figure out. But I think after that, I moved to my dad. So living with my dad, I'm trying to adapt, of course, the new culture where I'm being beaten every day if I fail either homework. At school, I'm being beaten. At home, I'm going to be beaten because I'm not performing well. And I'm not performing well because if I try ask questions at home,
exactly.
No one is answering them. No one is answering them. No one is helping me with the homework and all that.
Exactly right, Jibba Jabba. My wife wasn't the first one to give my daughter pass. I was. She came to me. She wanted to ask me what's going on. She's like your cousin got got her pass from your uncle. Exactly. Went to the store and got it for her. Exactly. That's what you do. My daughter came to me because she was scared. Both my daughters came to me. She said, "What's going on?" I said, "Listen, you're becoming a young lady. This is nature. Nothing to be ashamed of. It's going to happen now. You're going to get this. Remember, you're going to get this every month. Sometimes it may be more painful than the other months, and sometimes it may not. Depending. I don't know how your cramps are going to be."
You're good, Dad.
I said this is your nature. So this is an egg dropping. So this is what babies come from. So you're going to get so many eggs in your life, and you know.
You are a good dad, kid, and I'm glad you were there for your daughter, because for me I was shook. I just met my dad and I'm going to knock, because respectfully we couldn't even enter our dad's room just anyhow. So it was in the morning. I think I was going to school. Then I knocked on his room and I stood by the door like, "Can you help me with $50? I need to get," because pads are done, but they were actually not even half. They were, I think, $45. No. Zilikuwa 45 bob, below $50.
Yes.
So like few cents. So he told me, I was shook, man. I was traumatized the whole day at class.
But you traumatized. Yeah, Jim. But those are your daughters. My daughter comes to me and she's scared. She doesn't know why she's bleeding. And I gotta sit her down and say, "Baby, this is normal. It's not to be scared. You don't have a disease. There's nothing wrong with you. You're becoming a young woman. You're hitting puberty. So now you're becoming a woman. So this is this is how your body's going to do. Every month, you're going to have an egg drop, and it's going to cause it to be blood. All this is just it's just a fertile egg because you create life. Okay? When there's just another baby that hasn't been fertilized, it's going to come out of it. Nothing to be afraid of, nothing to be ashamed of. It's life. Okay, it's natural, it's normal. I idea that you tell your daughter what Joby dad told you, talking about somebody fucked up in the head. And just hearing that makes me want to hit this nigga in the mouth. You don't tell a child no shit like that. It's a baby. You are a child in the head. Hell you doing? Well, you're talking about your child's already scared. They don't even know what's going on. Shit's absolutely crazy. Exactly. That's rough, Joby. Exactly. I couldn't imagine. If I had a friend tell me some shit like that, I'd beat his ass. What are you talking about? This is a child. Fuck is wrong with you? It's your fucking raggedy ass mind. It's a child. So
it's crazy. It's fucked up. So this is what we say. When you want to be a parent, please be a parent, knowing the kind of put yourself in the
as a man, African men, grow the fuck up. You become child, and this is global. Everybody know you're a child in the head. You fuck your children in the head. You're going to have to go back and start growing up. Joe said you have to grab confidence, but you're going to have to grow up as men. You've been grown children. That's a problem. That's why Africa's been dominating, taking over. You're going to have to start growing back up as men. You're going to be men again. Sorry. Can't be scared of a woman's period. Oh my God. Ooh, that shit get away. Ooh, what? What the fuck is wrong? I'll smack you in the mouth. Get your goofy ass away from me. You got the mind of a child. Get your childish ass away from me. Crazy as hell. I've been putting my hands on it. Hurt.
It's crazy. Then you let me know, Juba Jabba, because Keith, I know he's gonna say something different. Juba Jabba, if it was you or Joe Mosquito, would you forgive such a person? Would you really forgive such a person?
You forgive.
Do you really want such a person in your life? Because
you forgive them for you, Joby. You don't forgive. But you forgive people, Joby. You forgive them for you.
I do it decently. I don't need to do it closely. I'll do it decently. I'm cool with you. This I didn't talk disrespectfully to him on the phone. Yeah. Like, yo, my daughter. Oh, it's you. What's up?
Yeah, I agree. Her father's a piece of work. He's one of the most. I ain't gonna lie. This is one of the most despicable motherfuckers. It's one of the most despicable motherfuckers I've ever heard of. This is and then I gotta blame Joby's mama. Baby, what the fuck was she doing with these fucked up men? You gotta go back to Joby's mom's upbringing. Because both men she picked the fucked up. So it's something in her mother that was never came to maturity to judge men. Because, I mean, I don't know nothing about the second her brother's daddy. I know he's fucked up too, but there's no stories that I can get. But
he is fucked up.
It's diabolical.
Okay, I'd say I don't want to say it was better because that was just for pretense to get my mom pregnant. Nah, he is fucked up. That's all I'll say. Because this guy came in because it was on the phone. I always love. I'm someone who keeps dates and records in my head. I don't care which, like, even if you said something slightly, it sticks in my head and I'll even mark the dates. Like, I'll remind you the day you said this shit. So I remember it was on Prince Henry or Prince Harry, one of them, I don't know, Harry, the wife, the wedding, the royal wedding.
Harry, that's it.
Harry. This guy called and
Harry and Meghan Markle.
The phone she was using was really loud. So like, if I find a Joby in that house, I'm gonna kill the shit out of that. She's not my daughter. I'd rather not find that. And before that, he had beaten me so bad, and he had beaten my mom because he wanted me out. I'm like,
How old were you, Joe?
I was in class 3. I was, I think, 10, 9.
Imagine this. That's what I'm talking about. Your mother and these rotten ass niggas. So 10. You get your daughter out at 10, and Joby, your mom was a bad judge of character. Bad.
She was pathetic on that one.
Bad. Put your daughter in some kind of risk. She blames me for my gang getting dementia and didn't help with any type of care. Who blames you for dementia? Who blames you for that? Who blames you for your grandma getting dementia and didn't help with any? Who blames you for that, Jibba Jabba? You didn't give any context. Who blames you for your grandma getting dementia? How can it be your fault that she got dementia? Who blames you for that, Jibba Jabba? Is that the cake?
Yep.
You're right on time. I was about to have to give you a worse beating of your life.
It's not Natalie.
My mother and your daughter? Whoa, what kind of daughter? What? Your mother and your daughter came? Wow, this is crazy.
And her daughter. My bad mother, so the sister, I guess.
Oh, she said her mother his mother and okay, my mother and her daughter. Okay, too much your sister. It's about and her daughter. You mean your sister? You don't call her your sister no more. He said my birth mother and her daughter. And her daughter. God damn.
I guess each family has its own shit going
We all
on.
got screwed up. We all got screwed up. We all got screwed up families. Jibba jab. My father is fucked up. Fucked up. You know, maybe not as bad as Joby. But see, I wasn't around him as long as Joby was around her dad. Because when we left, I guess I shouldn't be trying to tell Joby to reconcile because I never reconciled with my own father. I never reconciled with my own father because, you know, as a man, you know, usually girls still need their fathers when to talk. As a man, I didn't give a fuck about him. Goodbye, nigga. So I ain't seen. I talked to him like last time I was 18, and last time I heard from him, I was like 40. So, and I didn't. One of my brothers had found him. My brother like called me one day out the blue. Said, you know, tried to be funny. Said, you know what? I found your daddy. What the fuck you talking about? I found your daddy, nigga. What are you talking about? He said, yeah. I said, damn, you, because we ain't heard from his ass like in 25 years or something. I was like, what? You found him? Where he at? He's still in L.A. He's outside. He's outside Los Angeles. He's all fucked up. My brother's like, he's all fucked up, living in a nursing home. I said, damn, in a nursing home? Yeah, he's all fucked up. You want the number so you can call your daddy? I said, what? I said, nah, you the one found his ass. Did you call? Nah, I ain't come. I thought you like to talk to his ass. I said, that's all right, but give me the number. So I called the number, and he was all fucked up. I said, hey. He said, who's this? I said, it's Keith. Oh, hey, man, how you doing? I said, hey, I heard you in a nursing home. This is a nursing home. Where you at? Oh, I'm in a little town outside Los Angeles. I said, what you doing in a nursing home, man? What's happening with me? Well, you know, I really can't take care of myself no more. Things got rough. I said, man, damn, that's what happened when you fuck over all your kids, huh? Don't nobody want to fuck with you no more. You know, that's how, you know, you should have realized, nigga, you're going to get old and don't nobody want to fuck with you. He said, well, how'd you get my number? I said, Eric gave it to me. And then Charles called me too about it. So I said, you know what, man? I might need to come and get you. I don't want to, because I had already forgave him years ago. Because I was full. And I knew that's why I treated women fucked up. Because I had so much anger in me. That's why I ran through so many women. Because I said that rage towards him. And I
didn't do that. I didn't do that, man. I realized that way long time ago. I'm like, nah.
I know why. I don't know why I acted so vicious towards women. I was so ruthless. Get in, get the coochie, and get rid of them. I was so ruthless with that shit. I said, what the fuck is what the fuck is wrong with me? Like I said, that was my addiction. I had to sit there. We got addiction. You got to know something. You the one fucked up. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with me, man? Why do I treat women so bad? Why do I just like I'm like a predator? I'm like a wild animal. I'm like a predator. You know, I'm on a coochie hunt. Once I get it, I'm done with you. I don't want to talk to you. I'm already disposed of your ass. On to the next. They can be nice as hell. I'm like, nah, it's over. Get away from me. Right? So I said, I'm fucked up. Then I realized I had to sit and talk to my mother. Said, you got that hate in you. You haven't came to terms with your father. She was right. And all that. You got to let that hate go because no one's worth your hate. But I feel about all that hate. So by then, see, oh, your mom left me with your granny as a baby. No food and a dirty diaper growing up. I called her auntie knowing she was my birth. But wow, she was fucked up. Yeah. Wow, she left you with your grandmother in a dirty diaper. Wow. And then got that.
Man, I really hate my mom. Trust me. I'd not. That's when I'm not forgiving you. For leaving me?
And got the nerve to say you did your grandmother in with also this motherfucker wasn't even around and dropped you to your grandmother's. I said, I'd be like, bitch, you ain't got the nerve to talk. You don't get out my fucking face. your mom to me, excuse, I don't mean no disrespect to me, Jimmy, but your mom to me would be called bitch in my mouth. Bitch, fuck you talking to.
Even to me, when my mom left me, I was aware. So it was like, if she never comes back for me, if she never, because I cried. Oh my God. When they separated with my dad, then officially she left me in the village because she had to give me up to someone because she didn't have a job. I think either a place to stay or something. So she left me at her cousin's house. I was like, if you never come back, forget me. If you never, because I was aware of myself as a child. Like I was a kid who's understanding what is going on, being moved from here to here to here to here. Like, okay, this relative shit is not really impressing me. But what can I do?
Yeah, of course it would be, Jimmy, because your mother gave you up and treated. So it'd be hard for you to get attached to people. It'd be hard. Relationships would be hard. That's what I understood because my father never accepted me. And I always thought I always thought maybe because I'm light skinned. My father and them are not light. Maybe thought my mom was fucking around on, right? But one of my sisters is light, right? Not that we're all mixed up. Got a couple light ones, a couple dark ones. That's how black families are. So maybe that is. I didn't know why this nigga had so much hate for me. The hate of me was just palpable, and I didn't understand it. The hatred, and so I asked him. I said, "Hey man, what was with all the hate you had for me?" So at least I got to say, I was just fucked up. I wasn't really a good person, and I just didn't know how to really deal with being a father. I said, "But goddamn, why did I get all the goddamn hatred? Why you spread this shit around to everybody?" He said, "Well, I did, but I focused on you more for some reason." So I said, "All right, I said maybe I should come out to California and get you and bring you back to Florida." So, but then at that time I was dealing with my own marriage. My own marriage was falling apart at that time. My own marriage is all fucked up. So my own marriage was fucked up. So, but damn, Jibba, you a good, what you said. Yeah, man, you agitate. So, man, this woman had the nerve to say some shit like that to you, and she dropped you off at your grandmother's house. You don't get no respect from me, lady. You didn't take care of me. You shut your mouth. Talking about what I did and didn't do for my grandmother, who actually was your mother, right? Your grandmother actually was your mother because your mother abandoned you. So, woman, you don't got the right to speak on what the hell we do here. Shut your fucking mouth. Shut your fucking mouth.
As we wind up, Kate. As we wind up.
All right.
Man, every family is fucked up. It is messed up. Everyone has their own story to tell. I'm certain majority of the people are not really open-hearted, like I think me and Keith. And shout out to you, Juba, for opening up on that. Most of the people are not really open-hearted to talk about their.
You gotta talk about it because that's how you heal, Joe. People.
That's how I learned how to deal with even. I learned literally. I heal quick, and even I say that a couple of times. I'll wake up majority of the times, maybe I'm moody as a woman. I'm gonna wake up maybe moody, I'm feeling maybe low. But once
right. And you're Sagittarius. Shit.
Yeah. Once I touch this mic, my mood changes. Like I find healing through talking, and that's how I dealt with even depression. Because when I was dealing with depression, my dad beat me so bad. Like he didn't even want to give a F what was going on through me. Like all his concern was I'm destroying his name, I'm destroying his business. I have time to go talk about things outside. I don't have time to study. I'm like, you don't even know what I'm going through. I'm from grieving. You don't understand the torture I went through, seeing a cancer patient, having all.
And that was your mother. You know how hard it is for a mother, a child to lose their mother at a young age. I was fucked up. You losing my mother at an older age. So I'm gonna tell you.
I was telling Shmani just even right now and Christine before I started the show, because she was saying a friend of ours has lost her parent, and I was like, man, if I lost my mother, like when I was, if I that time when I lost my mother, if I'd known something called alcohol, I think I'd been messed up, because understanding the household I was in, and then
your household was traumatic. Yeah, because
messed up trust me, I would have been so messed up.
So I can imagine losing. I feel so much respect. I can imagine losing like a Jibba Jabba. I can imagine, but Jibba had a grandmother who raised him as a child. She had that at least. I can imagine losing a mother at a young age because when my mother passed, I was 42. And I was, and this had to be a sign from the Creator because that day she died, I was in her, you can't make this up. I was in, of all places, I was in my mother's birthplace. My mother was born in upstate New York. My family's from North Carolina up to upstate New York after the 1800 riot in Wilmington. They all moved up to upstate New York back in 200 years ago almost. So the day I found out my mother passed away, I was in her goddamn. How many times did I go to Rochester, fucking New York? Hardly none. I'm in her birthplace where she was born and raised before they moved out to L.A. So I'm up there, and my wife. I'm up in Rochester, and so my mom. And so I don't even know my mother's passed away yet, right? So my wife gets on the phone, and I said, "Damn, I'm in Rochester. You know, my mom and grandmother." Because I knew the address. I'm up around where they grew up, where my grandmother raised my mom at around here before they moved out to L.A. She said, "Well, baby, I need to tell you something. Are you sitting down?" "Yeah, I'm sitting down. What's up?" Said, "They found your mom outside in the garden. She's passed away." So imagine me at 4. I was fucked up. I can imagine being a child. I'm a grown-ass man, but damn near grown-ass kids, right? Kids. I'm and losing my mother. I'm gonna tell you, I felt detached from the world. I feel like, how am I still around if you? It's like your mother holds you down to this planet. I don't know how to explain it. Sounds crazy, but losing my mother is like, it's like I wasn't detached to the planet anymore. So I had to drive. I'm gonna tell you, like, I was in such a daze, guys. I was driving, didn't know where the fuck. I ended up like in 3 states out. I didn't know the fuck I was even at. Yeah, I just started driving. I just started driving, and I ended up like, I was in New York, ended up like somewhere like, I ended up like in West Virginia, like for 10 hours driving. And then I finally got I said, "Where the fuck am I at? How the fuck did I even get here?" I was like, "Where the fuck am I at? How the fuck did I get to West Virginia from there?" I'm like, "What?" I mean, I drove for 10 hours. I didn't know the fuck I was even driving. I just drove, right? So then I knew I had to call both my brothers. One was living in France. He's still, and the other one was in Germany. So I called my brother Charles. So he was all fucked up. He's like, so then, but when I called my brother Eric, me and his wife don't kind of get along. His wife don't get along, right? So I called. She said, "Hey." I said, "Hey, man, let me talk to my brother." "Why you need to talk to him?" I said, "Listen there, lady. I'm not asked to talk to you. Pass the phone to my goddamn brother. What the fuck is wrong with you, bitch? I'm already making my mom is dying. I don't got no respect for you." I said, "Pass the phone to my brother, bitch. Fuck wrong with you? Not trying to talk to you. Told you." So my brother said, "Hey, man, why you talk to my wife?" I said, "Hey, man, shut the fuck up about your wife. Let me tell you something." I said, "Are you sitting down?" He said, "Why? I said, "Are you sitting down, man?" "Nah, man, just tell me I'm standing right." I said, "Mom's passed away." He's like, "What?" I said, "Mom's passed away." Then the phone went completely silent. This nigga had passed out. He passed out. And so his wife got on the phone and said, "What'd you do to my husband? What'd you say to my husband? What'd you say?" She started yelling at me. "What'd you say to my husband? What'd you say to my husband?" I said, "Motherfucker, I just told him his mother died. Stupid ass." So that's how, so we grown men. He passes out, my other brother's fucked up. So I can imagine being a child like Joby and find out your mother's passed. I couldn't imagine that.
For me, I felt it because my brother was very, very young. He was at class 2, like I think 5 years, 6 years. He was really young. So At that time, the guy I was dating was the one getting much more of the information what is happening in the hospital, because I had school, so most of the information is not going to be passed to me to avoid the distraction. As much as I'm still distracted, I want to know what's happening. So the whole week, they had lied to me. She had forgotten a SIM card pin. So I sent the other pin so that they can unlock the phone, but our phone was still off. I'm like, nah, something is off. So one of the Fridays, the day she passed, I think the night or the morning, I felt it, and I was like, I'm not going to school. I told my brother, don't go to school. So immediately, the guy I was dating called me, and he was like, can we meet? Like, I don't feel like seeing you because we were having issues. Like, nah, please, this is really important. Come, I want to see you. So because I knew I was the one getting information, I had to go. So when I arrived where he was, he told me, have you spoken to your mom? And when was the last time you spoke to her? I told him, this week we've not spoken, and they're lying to me 1 to 3 things, but I've been sending the unlocking other pins so that they can unlock the phone. So like, I'm not sure, but something that told me something was not okay that morning. Like, I'm not sure, but I've heard rumors she has passed away. Oh, like, bro, it's your mother who has passed away. I told him that. It is your mother, not my mother. It is your mother, not my mother.
Yes,
and from now, I know this is hard for you and all that. Man, I ran crazy, man. I was crazy. I covered a distance that shouldn't be covered in running like that. People are looking at me like I'm crazy, and then understanding people have seen you just walking normally, and then you're going back running crazy. They're like, what's going on? I had no bra on, my titties are just jumping all over. I'm just crazy. Like, got to the stairs, I had to calm myself down because I don't want my brother to see my reaction. So I'm trying to calm myself down, but I couldn't, man. The phone I had, I hit it on the wall, like there's no way. I banged it on the wall because to just release the anger, but still it wasn't enough. Like, I couldn't find answers. I tried. I was not reasoning. It was so hard for me. And then I was not given the time to stay off school because I was given just a week to grieve. Then I had to go back to school. That is my dad's instructions.
Exactly. See, that's a child. See, I was a grown man, so I had better tools than Joby to deal with. I can imagine being a child. Who's the cheap bastard? What happened with you? Who's the cheap bastard, Jim? You just saying stuff, cheap bastard. But they didn't pay for the funeral or something when your grandfather died. Who's the cheap bastard?
Calm down.
You typed without giving context.
Joe was going to say that these are sensitive topics, so I'm forcing myself to keep quiet. It's understandable.
Your mother's still alive, though, isn't she, Jimmy? Jenna Mosquito. I think your mother's still alive. So I can imagine, like I'm saying, being a child is Joby's age. Anybody using their mother, because even though father's important, it's not as close as your mother.
True.
Yeah, I'm trying to ask you what content, because you thinking in your head and you're not writing it down. You think what happened, but you didn't write it down, so we know what you're talking about. You like cheap bastards. I know you're thinking about something, but you're not writing it and let us know what the hell you're talking about.
Sorry. That's funny.
So I knew to be that young and lose your mother. So I know, like I said, Joby has a lot to be proud of herself.
I really am proud of myself, how far I've come, especially emotionally. I feel like I've really grown. I've healed so much, like emotionally. Like if I cry right now, maybe because I'm happy, or maybe because something has triggered me, but not in a family related way. Maybe something just different. But it's very rare you find me shedding tears nowadays. Even there's a friend of mine I bump into, shout to Edu. We call him Chairman. He asked me recently, like, did you stop crying? Because every time we could go out, sometimes I'll end up just being emotional. Like, I'll just be triggered, maybe remember something my dad did, then start crying. Like, you remember even at the beginning when I was new.
But just like Shamani losing her father, but that's a father. You know, you love it doesn't hit like a mother. So she's been lucky to have a mother. Doesn't hit, even though it's a father, still doesn't hit like a mother. It doesn't hit like a mother dying. So even Shimani had to go through some rough stuff with her dad dying young. As a young child. But not like Joby shit. I was lucky. I didn't, I wouldn't have been sad if my dad died young. If I was young.
Man, you have no idea. I'm not gonna lie as we wind up. I used to wake up, pray. There's a time I remember I told my stepmom, I'm waiting for your husband to die. You have no goddamn idea. It's gonna be my joy to see this man 6 feet under. And then sadly, I remember she told me, it's not gonna be my dad, it's gonna be your mother. I remember she said that. It's not gonna be your father. Be very careful, it could be your mother. And apparently my mom was the one who passed on first. But I even say there's a time I was saying that yesterday. What the Gaza, the Vibes Cartel effect did on most of the African country, having this Gaza influence, because I was one among the people who are influenced, and I had the connections, like all the thugs you could talk about, the gunners, the stabbers, the ski masked ones. I was like, man, I can get you beat up. Like the hate was really that bad. I'm not gonna lie. I used to wake up. I'm just so much angered. What am I still doing in this house? Even the day I attempted suicide, I'm like, what the fuck am I doing in this house? I woke up cussing. I'm like, what the heck?
That was trauma. You were dealing with trauma at that time. That was like, the loss of a mother and being in a fucked up household where you had no one to turn. See, and you're lucky that you didn't kill yourself. Because young ladies, no matter what trauma that you're dealing with, it's only for a certain time. You'll grow up and you can always leave. Okay? Just deal with whatever you deal with. Sometimes, sadly enough, whatever makes you stronger.
Not anymore, Jibajaba. I don't even have the connections anymore. Trust me, if I go there, I'm the one they're attacking right now. If I go there, I'm the one who's gonna be attacked because I'm changed, number one. I've not been there for like years. So they're gonna say, oh, this is a new one. She's not been around, And then definitely there's new goons, the old ones definitely are old. So you're not gonna go there acting smart. This thing stays. It's a different era, It's a different era. And also majority I knew are dead. They've been killed, being honest. They've been gunned down. That's how bad they were. The others are in prison for their lifetime. Others are dead. Some of them who are close to me are dead. So
that's what happens. Joe, but you're lucky that you should wake up every day proud of how you maneuvered, because it's hard. A lot of people don't survive a bad household. True. They don't. It's hard. A lot of people don't survive a house. They think that they'll just be there and then life will never change and they end up doing something to hurt themselves. Life always changes, guys. Life always changes. No matter what you do. And as a child, you don't know that. As a child, no one's there to teach you that.
So for me, I'd say I'm grateful to a circle of friends I met. Shout out to DJ Carter, that is Pavin's cousin, the guy you met before. Yeah. Such kind of a group really helped me at that time to tackle the things I was going through at home, at school, and grieving my mom, because they were distracting me. They could come, because they knew the kind of a father I had. They could come, borrow permission. We go out somewhere to just distract me from, I'll just be involved in some few things. I was not taking drugs though or anything, but
good for you. Because drugs would you would have really fucked up.
Yeah, that's all. I was saying, man, if I was drinking at that time, if I knew anything called alcohol, I would have killed myself with alcohol, because my dad was stressing the shit out of me, man. I was depressed, like for real. I was like, this is the end of me. I don't see any other. I didn't see light at all. I could see just darkness. And then when you wake up every day, you're just being called a moron, you're being called an idiot, a failure, and all that.
What? 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 Hold on. They also were being verbally abusive with you, calling you morons.
Oh my God, kids! I told my dad used to call me a dog. You dog, get out of my face.
Wow.
He called me even a prostitute, like all sorts of words.
Wow. And then it got the audacity to call you, my daughter, I miss you. Can you send me some money? Hey,
Man,
nigga.
because I remember after being called a hoe, they even did a test on me to prove if I was a virgin. I didn't even know there was a traditional way of checking if someone was a virgin till that
Yeah,
day.
your Heimlich.
Yeah, they checked my legs and I like, then my
Legs.
stepmom said, she's
No,
okay.
I don't know about your legs. They take your private areas, the Heimlich. If your Heimlich's
No.
been broken, it means you've been sexually active. It's your
Back
Heimlich.
of your leg, the back of your leg, I don't know, the back of your knee, the back, they checked the back of my knee.
What the fuck is this called goopy nigga shit? What back of your knee?
Like they told me to stand up, then put my legs straight, right? Then to the knee, the back of the knee, like they checked something.
No, Joby, I don't. My God, you talking about some village? You calling you an idiot? That's some village idiot shit. No, for a woman, you have a Heimlich, and so your Heimlich, until you have sex, your Heimlich stays a certain way, so it's not broken. So once you have sex, that's why usually the first time a woman has sex is kind of painful. I know that's crazy shit, Jibba Jabba. Daddy just they crazy. They checking the back of the knee, Jibba, not the front, the back of the knee. You wonder why? What? Yeah, I'm checking. My daughter's been having sex by the back of her knee.
Man, let me tell you, the first pregnancy test was done to me when I was in class 7. I was having.
We don't know your class. With these class, how old are you? We don't know your classes.
I was 12. I was 12, 13.
God
13,
damn.
I think I had a toilet infection because of the school I was taking. The sanitary was not really good.
So you think you're pregnant with an infection. It's crazy.
So I had an infection. Then I came to tell my stepmom because I couldn't, since my dad told me disgusting things not to tell him. I told my stepmom how I was feeling. Then immediately he bought a kit. That was the first time I saw the pregnancy kit, the urinal pregnancy kit. I was like, what,
kit. You don't know.
What the heck is this?
You don't know your daughter. You think she's having sex at 12 and 13?
Like, what the heck is this? So they told me you pee on a
Yeah,
knee.
Joe got to show about that advocate. You touched the back of the knee. Oh my God, I'm dying too. You talking about the most moronic, backward, idiotic shit. He's like, well, that's right. You got to show it. You imagine? I thought Joe was going to actually say, where you test a young lady, you test her Heimlich, her vagina. The Heimlich's been broken. Unless she fell on a bike, unless she riding a bike, you fall on some way hard, it can break it that way or something crazy. But usually, we all know usually the Heimlich is broken by sex. That's why when a virgin young lady person has sex, it hurts her because that Heimlich is being broken. So you can test that. But back of the knee crazy shit.
So, all right, much love, family. We'll finish up the rest of the series tonight on the
I want to know if all the ladies in there had the back of their knee tested.
No.
Have they heard of?
Actually, I think I'm the one who said that.
Have they heard? I'm asking. Have they heard of such a thing?
No.
Yeah, because your father is crazy as cat. You're talking about an absolute moron.
Anyway, family, much love. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's been an amazing conversation. 2 hours in it. I hope you guys have enjoyed.
You can still put it up. Put the Meebo so we can see Shamani's cake cutting.
Yeah, I will. Just in a few. We're coming back in a few.
I need to laugh. That's right. I need to laugh too. Listen, Joey always fucks me up with the most craziest stories I've never expected. Every time I think it can get no crazier, Joey hits me with some more crazy. And you got a 12-year-old 13 girl testing the back of her knee. Like, what you doing, man? What is this? I'm checking to see if she's pregnant. Hey, moron. Just the back of the knee. Much
love. I've loved so much. So my cheeks are hurting. See you guys later. Have yourselves a beautiful day. today. Thank you, Juba Jaba, for keeping the conversation alive. Shout out to Royal Constrictor, Byron Scott, John Mosquito, and Keith himself, and to all the amazing silent listeners. Those who shall be catching this on a replay, enjoy. Give us your stories as well if you can.
He said Nigerian job interviews, they checking these. I don't know about that. But great.